We are an organization, the New You, that makes content just relevant to the New You. The Sri Lankan Economic Crisis is an ongoing crisis that is currently going on in the island nation of Sri Lanka. It has its roots start in 2019. It has led to unprecedented levels of inflation, near depletion of foreign exchange reserves, a very dire shortage of medical supplies, an increase in prices of basic commodities such as rice, wheat, and the most important, for students, paper. The crisis is said to have begun because of unprecedented money creation, a lot of tax cuts, and 100% shift to organic or biological farming.
Correct.
Which was, wait for it, the country wasn't prepared for it. पैसे होंगे तभी तो ये सब करेंगे ना.
अबे मेरे को मत सिखा. फिर चालू हो गया इसका.
The first cause, tax cuts and money creation. The government made large tax cuts that affected government revenue and fiscal policies, causing budget deficits to soar very high. These cuts included increased tax-free thresholds in a 33.5% decline in registered taxpayers, reducing VAT and corporate tax that led to the massive loss of government revenue. Government revenue जब घटता है ना तो कोई government subsidy नहीं दे पाएगी, government import नहीं कर पाएगी, and foreign reserves का depletion. ये होते ही आप import नहीं कर सकते.
One more factor which has caused the economic crisis right now has been obviously decline in tourism level. Okay. So during the COVID period, as we could see, like even our country had a big lockdown, like which lasted for 4 months.
Yes.
Yeah. So the tourism in Sri Lanka hit rock bottom. Like देखा जाए तो श्रीलंका की इकोनॉमिकली बेसिकली टूरिज्म बहुत इफेक्ट करा इकोनॉमी जो करंट सिचुएशन है उसमें. अगर आप देखें तो श्रीलंका की जो पॉलिसीज हैं लाइक countries like Maldives, वो भी they are only totally depending on the money they get from tourism. But during and after the COVID period, उन्होंने अपनी policies में change किया. Like other countries, like they used to demand your vaccination reports, your RT-PCR test. But Maldives did not do such did not take up any such policies. Because they knew they are already struggling, but they do not have to वो decline नहीं चाहते थे अपने tourism में और ज़्यादा. So I think एक तो tourism has affected Sri Lanka a lot. And now coming to the agricultural crisis जिसके बारे में अभिज्ञान ने थोड़ा सा पहले ही बता दिया. In April 2021 जो present president है Gotabaya Rajapaksa is the present president. So he declared, country was already struggling at that time as we talked about. He announced that country will only have organic farming. That is a big step because even if in India we look at the rates of normal vegetables and organic vegetables, you see organic vegetables like उनकी cost comparatively ज़्यादा होती है.
Because उनको grow करने का cost भी ज़्यादा होता है.
Grow करने का cost भी ज़्यादा होता है.
When you use a lot of synthetic fertilizers, they tend to be more efficient than the organic waste. Because अब गोबर अगर यूज़ करोगे ना तो वो भी फर्टिलाइजर का काम करता है, बट गोबर के लिए गाय चाहिए.
So actually policy कह सकते हैं organic farming, taking organic farming is not bad, but immediately 100% policy implementation it is not possible. Like gradual अगर एक प्रोसेस को फॉलो करते हैं अगर किया जाता लाइक स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम लाइक अगर फार्मर्स को मतलब ये इंस्ट्रक्ट किया जाता कि सम पार्ट यू डू ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग कंप्लीट अगर आप चेंज करेंगे तो दैट इज नॉट गोना वर्क आउट, इज इट?
एग्जैक्टली. तो उसकी वजह से जो राइस प्रोडक्शन था जिसके ऊपर जो कंट्री था वो फुल्ली डिपेंडेंट था एंड सेल्फ सफिशिएंट था, इट हैड टू इम्पोर्ट राइस at the cost of $450 million. आपने ध्यान दिया होगा कि इंडिया was trying to become आत्मनिर्भर. Yes, उसी के लिए था, क्योंकि आप जितना सेल्फ सफिशिएंसी पे आते हैं आपको इंपोर्ट चीज़ें कम करनी पड़ेंगी एंड खर्चे कम होंगे. Exactly.
So what it led to? Yeah, we can
So it led to electricity and fuel shortages. क्योंकि आप इंपोर्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हो, तेल कैसे खरीदोगे? And if you can't buy oil, you don't have electricity,
and you don't have fuel for your vehicles. Like
ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ठप हो जाएगा, क्योंकि ट्रक्स वेट कर रही हैं कि फ्यूल आए, हम भरें एंड अपने सामानों को इधर से उधर लेके जाएं. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इज द बेस ऑफ द इकोनॉमिक इंडस्ट्री दैट वी हैव. शुगर केन जब झारखंड बिहार में उगती है, देन इट इज़ ट्रांसपोर्टेड टू द छत्तीसगढ़ बेल्ट्स ऑफ फैक्ट्रीज, जहाँ पे शुगर केन से शुगर बनता है, जहाँ से ये ऑल ओवर इंडिया ट्रांसपोर्ट होता है. बट अगर ये ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम ही अगर ठप हो जाएगा, कंट्री आगे बढ़ेगी. द डेली न्यूज़पेपर्स स्टॉप्ड प्रिंटिंग बिकॉज इंक की शॉर्टेज हो गई, प्रिंटर्स की शॉर्टेज हो गई एंड प्रिंटिंग मटेरियल पेपर की शॉर्टेज हो गई. एग्जाम्स भी कैंसिल हो गए थे.
सो देखा जाए
चलेंगे वहाँ पे.
Okay, so
measures of recovery.
Currently, the government is planning to hire a global law firm to provide technical support to the government, which would assist how to like take them out of the current crisis they are facing.
Now, as of February 2022, the foreign reserves of Sri Lanka fell to $2.36 billion. Now, this amount seems to be large, but an economic crisis this size, it's nothing. Sri Lanka has foreign debt obligations currently of $7 billion. It has including $1 billion worth of sovereign bonds, which is to be repaid by July 2022. उनके पास पैसे ही नहीं हैं लोन चुकाने के लिए.
How to deal with recovery? Like what basic the country has to do? See, China has put Sri Lanka into a trap,
which is called the China debt trap.
So the first and foremost, what lesson would Sri Lanka take from the whole thing which is going on? That the future governments would try to reduce the assistance they get from China. So I think they would reconsider joining the One Belt One Road initiative from China. I think the country should learn what it has done in the past scenario.
Now, Sri Lanka is discussing with India to start a credit line of $1.5 billion in bridge financing in order to facilitate imports, while also approaching China, Japan and Asian development banks for further financial assistance. The World Bank has agreed to provide financial support of $600 million and $400 million to be released on a further date. Currently, the President and the Vice President haven't resigned, but उनको कर देना चाहिए.
The Prime Minister has resigned. Now Ranil Wickremesinghe has taken over the Prime Minister's post. Like it is recent news. It happened like a month back, I suppose.
श्रीलंका की हालत बहुत ख़राब है क्योंकि वहाँ पे रिलीजियस इंटॉलरेंसेस एंड सिविल वॉर्स चलते रहते हैं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द टेरर ग्रुप LTTE एग्जैक्टली, वो वहाँ पे अपने उनके एक स्पेसिफिक ग्रुप को सपोर्ट करने के लिए, प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए वायलेंट एक्ट्स करता रहता है.
हाँ,
that was passed.
The country, as you can see, it is like a decade back. This what we are talking about, the LTTE. The country was still recovering from all the civil wars it had and all the famines and everything, and now this crisis happened.
The first 3 changes: take less loan from China, get a good leadership, and अपने accounts देख लिया करो यार. अब सब्सक्राइब करने तो नहीं बोलूँगा क्योंकि क्लीशे हो जाएगा.
अरे क्यों नहीं करोगे यार? ठोक के जाओ.